Hello. All you old-timers on my channel will know that there are a few things that really irk me, and one of them is bad grammar and the other one is bad design. And that's why I do all those Oscars ceremonies things. It's not so much the dresses as the bad design that I find so needs bringing to people's attention and making fun of. Okay, well, so I'm going to be talking now about bad design and, as a matter of just a side issue, awful grammar as well. Now, before I carry on, here, just a minute. Look at this. I keep this hanging around next to my desk. It weighs a ton. It doesn't work with the modern system. And I have used it as a prop occasionally. But I keep it, I bought it because it's just beautiful design, isn't it? Look at that. I believe it's German, maybe from the 30s. Anyway, yeah, just good design. Good design is so important, and my eyes were assaulted by this picture in the metro. And it's a story about a bunch of wild kids who invaded a school, according to this article. A school staff member has been assaulted after a group came to cause trouble. Apparently they weren't even students at the school. So this is just one of those things, a bunch of thugs, teenage thugs, invading a school. But they showed a picture of the school, and I just looked at it and I thought, you know, this is not an environment calculated to make people feel like it shouldn't be invaded. I mean, just look at this. What a pig's breakfast of a building that is. Even if they had to put an extension on, which I suppose this bit here is, they could have at least got it looking vaguely like the other side. But even perhaps they decided not to, because the other side's so awful. Look at these great big sort of flat windows that are out of line with all the other windows. Just look at this. I suppose that might be a stairwell or something, but why? Just look how it sticks up there. Like, has it been stuck on? No, it looks more or less original. It's just horrible. And then they stick this concrete extension on, when they could have done something that looks like that on the other side, at least on the face of it, just for balance, if for nothing else. It's called the King James School. Who gave them permission to? I think the problem is that they think, oh, it's just a school, so who cares? But you know, kids grow up with a sense of beauty, which is blighted. I mean, you fancy having to go there every morning. I'll put a picture up. I don't have it with me right now. It's a water pumping station in North London. And it was built at a time when they had less efficient pumps, and they were bringing water from great distances. So there were these stations all the way down into London, just filled with machinery to keep the water flowing. But they made them look beautiful, magical. I can imagine this one, the one I want to show you, looks like some sort of a medieval castle. It's now no longer a pumping station. The inside, I believe, is used by a climbing a business that teaches people how to climb, you know, because it's got these big high walls. But imagine all the children who went past that station on the bus on their way to school or back from school every day, and they saw this magical castle right in the middle of their urban landscape. Can you imagine how it would have lifted their imagination, and if they looked at it, made them think of knights and fair maidens and dragons, and and stories from, you know, years gone by, mythical stories from years gone by. And it's important. And they build this for kids to be educated in. I'm disgusted. And just as a side issue, this is the standard of English we're getting in the metro now. Later on Monday, police said they arrested another girl. So one girl was taken into custody, and then police said they'd arrested another girl on suspicion of affray. By the way, that word affray means somebody deliberately going to cause trouble. And there've been many instances where, let's say, members of a certain group have stood at school gates because they didn't like what was on the curriculum. And none of them seems to have been arrested for affray. And they say, oh, well, we don't have the laws to stop them. Yes, you do. You did it here. But this is another matter. Anyway, and then there's this sentence, but they have now been de-arrested. De-arrested. That's because this writer was too lazy to just think of the word released. And will be interviewed at a later date. None of those taken into custody were pupils. None is singular. Elementary grammar. None, not one, was a pupil. So standards. Oh dear. Well, yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. If you could hear any snoring going on, it wasn't me, it was the dog. And I am Granniopteryx on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds, also Twitter, Gab and Parler. All the links are in the description. Please like this video. Please share it. Please check that you're still subscribed. If you're on YouTube, that might not be the case. And speak to you next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.